5:09 p.m. and I ask our vice chair to say evening prayer for us and kind of special acknowledge some of the mourners that we have.
Okay. Oh, Mona, Changa, come share this time, Sipini, you two, I got two for this day here. Now, Mona, Changa, say good bless all the mourners out there, send special blessings to the Walker family. Now, Mona, Changa, today, as we proceed on and ask them if it was okay if we could go on, and they said that they'll have things taken care of before we even start over here, so thinking along those lines and checking with all the relatives, say Pinagigi to you for this day. I say God bless each and every one of the relatives that stand in need of a prayer here today, wherever they are in the country, Mona. I said you could bless them from the youngest to the oldest tribal member that's out there, Mona. I said you could bless them in a good way. Good things could come by them and their families, their bloodlines, their clans, and the things that they hold near and dear to their hearts, Mona. I said you could take care of it for us. I said you could bless our soldier boys and soldier girls, Mona. Continue to keep our water clean, Mona, and bless the future generation that's coming behind us, Mona. Say these kind of things to you here today as we try to move forward and conduct a little bit of business on behalf of our people, on behalf of our tribal members, Mona. So you could help us out here this evening. Send a special blessing to each and every one of the relatives. If there's anything I may have left out, just word of prayer here today, Mona, so you could take care of it for us. Oh, good shit, Jim.
Oh, thank you, Isaac. Council, we have some additions to the agenda. Under new business, we have the hazard mitigation work group as number 1. Number 2 is the New Year's Eve powwow. Under old business, we have added number 2, Tribal Housing Committee. Under tribal council items, I wanted to change the holiday break to winter break. I just want the agenda to reflect that. And under tribal council items, action to file suit against the Army. And we have an added executive session item as last. Are there any further items to be considered? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Move it.
We have a motion by Eric. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. So the first order of business are the minutes. We have the November 28th, 2023 special tribal council meeting, new child care center meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move it.
We have a motion by Eric. Do we have a second? Second by Rona. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. Number 2, December 1st, 2023 special tribal council meeting, human resources meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
We have motion by Eugene. Do we have a second? Second by Rona. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. Number 3, December 1st, 2023 Tribal Council meeting, Gaming Commission meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move it.
Motion by Eric. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. Number 4, December 4th, 2023 regular Tribal Council meeting minutes. Do we have a motion? We have a motion by Rona. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Discussion. Objection to the motion. Motion carried 8-0-0. Number 5, December 12th, 2023 special tribal council meeting, special vote, swearing in meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion by Rona. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. Number 6, December 13th, 2023 CEO report meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Motion by Eugene. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Teresa. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. Number 7, December 14th, 2023 physical resource meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion by Rona. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Discussion. Objection to the motion. Motion carried 8-0-0. Thank you, council, for the approval of those minutes. We have no ratifications on the agenda, and that moves us into new business. Our first new business is a hazard mitigation work group. We're thankful for Irita bringing this forward and seeking a nomination for Julie Smithhart to serve on this work group. We have a motion to nominate Julie Smithhart to the hazard mitigation work group. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Teresa. Discussion. Objection to the motion. Motion carried 8-0-0. Thank you, Julie, for your willingness to serve on this work group.
Hang in there, Julie. I'll get to the minutes probably over the next 4 days. but you have the official notification.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
That moves us into the second item under new business. We have a New Year's Eve powwow request, and in that letter, it's requesting to donate to one of those line items as outlined and presented. Lorelei.
I just have a comment, and I would like an answer from the alcohol program. Over the years, I remember that the New Year's Eve powwow was to host a sober event welcoming the new year as an opportunity for our people that are struggling to remain alcohol and drug free. So all of a sudden, how come it was dropped? Why isn't that a part of one of their sobriety events? Why is it now it's coming up? It's never been budgeted for, and it's coming up every year that they want to request donations. And I thought that was, for many years, they put that on because they would have a sober event for people that are struggling to remain alcohol and drug free. So I would like to know, why did they stop? Well, now they're asking for it. There was a request for donations this year and last year, but so I don't understand it. Okay, thank you. Somebody's raising their hand.
Hi, Thelma.
Could use the mic.
Did you
Can
want
you use the mic
to
so
come
everybody-
up to the podium so then the folks on the phone will be able to hear your comment?
Isn't one of the things, to answer your question, is because that program was alcohol program, was a tribal program, you guys moved it under 12 clans, so now they don't have no money for that. So I'm thinking that's why it's coming to the table to ask for money.
No, the alcohol program is still funded in the same way that it was. The tribe just has a compact now to receive those funds to manage it under the same resources. So at some point they just stopped putting on the powwow, and it was previous to COVID. But so every year, usually either this week or the day before New Year's Eve, somebody says, "Are we having the New Year's Eve powwow?" We're like, "Oh yeah, is the alcohol program putting it on?" And then nobody knows. So we just want to budget it on our end if this is how it's going to be every year, because we don't budget it in our special events either.
Yeah, so can you go back to 12 clans over there?
I'm going to ask them.
Certainly, we want the powwow to happen, and we want the folks that are the experts in recovery to be putting this on, and that they decide how it's going to be for that evening. And
You can invite them and maybe they'd be willing to, or...
so there's some emails sent, and Mona responded, and then the donation request came. So it's in motion.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Where's that kid sitting back there with the glasses on?
Vanna Rave.
No, over here on the left.
Oh, Nicole Lone Wolf.
But who's sitting next to her? That guy.
Tony Craig Cleveland.
Oh, okay. All right.
Linda.
funny things.
I'm just trying to make sure I have everybody that's here on the record.
So, the amounts are 1,500, 3,500, 900, and 1,200. Does the council want to sponsor one of those categories?
Make a motion for the $900 drum split.
We have a motion by Eric to donate $900 to the New Year's Eve sobriety powwow. Do we have a
How
second?
much?
900 under the category drum split.
Is that from tribal council donations?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, how come I saw a form saying 7,000?
That's the total.
That's the total.
And we're just
Yeah,
funding,
this is the total.
okay?
No
And they
second
asked
yet.
us to fund this, or this. So Eric picked this one.
Okay, all right.
So we have a motion by Eric. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Discussion. Objection to the motion. Motion carried 8-0-0. Thank you, council, and thank you to the health department. That'll be moving forward with that. That next order of business, let's see, tribal housing, no.
Yeah, it's the next.
Winnebago Gaming Commission under old business, is that correct? So we have under old business,
Yes.
Winnebago Gaming Commission Policy Revision Approval, FY 2023 Revised Finance Report. Damon, did you want to present that?
These were all in your box. Did you guys get to read it since last week?
Yep, just got done.
Okay.
I had that under old business.
Yep. There's only about 4 lines added.
So, hi Damon, welcome.
Good evening. I guess I returned these into you guys last Thursday, and I hope you guys got a chance to look over them. Just 2 major changes that we made from the previous one that we submitted was we just combined the PTO just like the tribe did, so it's just one number. And the other ones we just added a couple of holidays, and that's pretty much it. The changes that we made from the previous one that we submitted. So
Which holidays did you add?
I think it was might have been like the Constitution Day, and I think it might have been the tribal holidays. Not sure the actual name of them. Tribal Constitution Day, and I think it was the Monday after Powwow. I'm not sure how you say that, but
Does the council have any questions on the policies,
I
policy
do.
revision? Orland.
Okay, so appointed salary employees that have been appointed are not subject to 90 calendar days. What's the difference between the gaming commission being a regular employee and the appointed salary employees? What's that difference?
I don't know. I guess we kind of went through that discussion a while back, and I guess when we're appointed, I guess we don't have to do the probationary period, but then it was somehow mentioned that we do have to. So there's kind of still a kind of a
Gray area.
yeah.
So if you have an issue, whose HR do you go to?
No, we go through you guys' tribes.
And then they say that they don't do nothing with you guys. So
Yeah.
what is it?
I think it's just like through the hiring process when you guys appoint a commissioner, you guys will get the applications from but that's as far as we go. But we do our own little HR our own self too. But we just, you know what I mean? There's kind of a gray area there too.
So who maintains your files or your disciplinary actions?
Tanya does. That's why there's a discussion of where we're supposed to be a separate entity. So that's where it comes into play, where we wasn't really integrated within the tribe, but then just for like the last couple of years, we kind of been pulled this way, I guess. But other than that, we just kind of run our own little separate entity over there, the gaming commission. But we're still underneath the tribal council, and we somewhat follow the tribe.
So I kind of have a huge problem with the gaming commission kind of riding both sides of the aisle, and it makes it so confusing, and it's just really tough to be consistent because it's like it's kind of like the council, you know, what, sometimes we're like, we're not employees, and then sometimes, you know, we want to, we do things that act like employees, and so just trying to, I guess, like, I guess for instance, one of the reasons why we wanted to get this done was because we wanted to be able to give you guys a Christmas bonus just like everybody else got. But then, like, in the past, you guys just decided what your bonus would be. So I guess, like, how does that work? Like, you police yourselves, you make your own decisions on how much money you make. I don't know how this works.
I guess the one thing that I could say is that we actually do follow Title IX, and there's a lot of stuff that's outlined in there that we have to follow. And then, like, all the other stuff, I guess it was, there was other stuff that came through the TC that was approved as far as budget-wise, but you guys do the overall numbers as far as starting wages and all that stuff that comes through your job description.
I'm going back to my same question because I'm trying to understand. Is your only regular employee your administrative assistant, and
Yes.
everybody else is appointed?
Yes. No, just the commissioners. Just the commissioners.
Oh, the compliance officers apply for it, and you guys pick
Yes.
them? Okay. Okay, so you guys are the ones that are appointed.
Yes.
So you guys would be the appointed salaried employees.
Yes.
And then the regular employees are the compliance officers and others.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand that because it says employees and then it says
So
appointed.
did they follow this, or did they follow the Winnebago's handbook? Because they're not appointed.
They would follow this one you have in front of you, the one word.
So do you guys do all their HR functions?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but this just seems really that there's no separation of anything if you guys get to make all your own calls. But those are I just don't understand. You know, and it's just haven't had clear answers all along the way. But we have a document in front of us. Do we have feedback? Do we have a motion to approve? How would the council like to proceed?
Well, going back to, I keep bringing this up because it seemed to be an issue a while back. So do the appointed employees, which are the 3 gaming commissioners, you guys are not given time and a half? You guys just schedule your work time to cover if called in. But then you guys can get mileage, or do you guys have a vehicle?
We got our own vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From work?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're just paying a flat rate, but no matter if there were 3 jackpots and you had to go in, you're not gonna get time and a half because you're already. Okay, I'm just trying to understand it. So, okay, thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the Winnebago Gaming Commission policy revision?
Where does it say about holiday bonus? Anything? Where does it say anything about the holiday bonus?
There's nothing in there that says the holiday bonus, but we put it in a budget, and then you guys approved the budget, and then last year we had a discussion of, and then you guys gave us $1,000. So we just put in a budget.
So are you budgeted for what we did last year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're okay, then you guys can get a thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, all of you
actually,
guys.
you did call me
Yeah.
prior to, and then you went ahead and approved it. So.
Okay.
So you guys already got your bonus?
Yes, per a call from Lorelei.
Well, how can Lorelai call him and give bonuses?
Well, she said we approved it, and I told her it was in the budget, and she said, well, go ahead. We're, like you said, it's still a gray area. She said we're tribal employees, so she said go ahead. Same time you guys approved, I guess, for the tribe, so.
So then under that instance, you guys are tribal employees.
That's what I said. It's still a gray area as far as.
Okay, well, I know it's, we got other items, I could go on, and I just won't, if the council doesn't have an issue with it, we have a document to approve, so do we have a motion?
Motion approved, Madam Chair.
We have a motion by Eugene. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Kenny. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. That brings us,
Yeah,
yes.
no budget. Yeah.
Oh, so we have the corrected financial report?
No.
So that was the next approval, was the corrected revised financial report for FY 23.
Okay, I got the ones from September and October. I guess the question that was sent to us was on the reports. It's stated that the manufacturers that expire for the month, that's always true, but the money that doesn't always follow it, because some of them renew 3 months in advance, so we go ahead and just deposit the check so it doesn't expire. So that's the reason why sometimes we'll have two for the month, but it'll only say 10,000 for the month. So sometimes they don't match up. But the money's still there and it's still accounted for in our deposits. That was the question that you guys had on the.
So that was, those 2 months were what we didn't approve, we tabled until you could describe it?
Yes.
So do we need to approve those?
We do.
Okay, all right.
So is there a motion to approve the revised financial report as presented?
That's for September and October, right?
Yes.
I move it, Madam Chair.
We have a motion by Kenny. Do we have a second? Second by Rona. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. Thank you, council.
Thank you, Gaming Commission. Oh, Thomas.
I did, we got a update for the fourth commissioner, on the job description.
No, I don't have an update. Does anybody else have an update to provide?
There was the HR wants to advertise, but they want to put the amount that's budgeted that this person will make.
Yeah.
Before they can send out the advertising. And I didn't know what their budget was, so I sent it to them, what they're gonna budget for that fourth commissioner's pay. And that has to be approved before HR can advertise.
Okay, so isn't it the same pay that everyone else started at, or what's new?
Nothing.
Oh,
So is that what they started at?
yeah.
What was originally on there?
40.
That's really low.
Yeah, I didn't know what it detailed, but I thought that since it, it was proposed that we could increase that starting salary. If that was the option.
That's really.
Well, that wasn't a part of the discussion to raise your guys' salary in this meeting.
Well, no,
no.
not the discussion, but the updated job description
Oh, okay.
and starting salary.
Okay, so this person would come in, what, making more than what Tanya started at, or what? Or what's the basis of changing, who would that apply to?
The fourth commissioner and probably me, the secretary treasurer. These are just,
Okay, so did you guys wanna submit that for the treasurer's report agenda, or?
That's up to you guys.
I guess it's like, on one hand, you guys said you do all your own HR stuff, but then over here, now you want us to give you a raise.
Yeah, we can put that on discussion for later.
So I don't understand again.
We just approve the budget, so if it's a budget not, or a change in it, then we have to re-approve the budget.
Yeah, but I guess the need to add a fourth commissioner wasn't a window to get somebody a raise either.
Yeah, so if it was, you budgeted 40,
Yes,
yeah, so it's,
So you guys that's what you guys all started with?
that's what was approved for this
Okay,
year.
all right. So we're good with the way it reads.
Because the budget was already approved.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
All right. Thank you for clarifying.
All right, we got the revised finance report approved.
So HR can go ahead. Do we need a motion to that?
No,
No,
we
they can
already
go
added-
ahead. Okay. All right.
Under number 2, under old business, we have Tribal Housing Committee, and I understand there are some applicants. I don't have the applicants.
Oh, I'm sorry. These came in and there's two vacancies, and we have 2 applicants that applied for the 2 vacancies. So the first one is Tyresha Romero, and the second one is, where is it? Is Willie Bass.
When did they come in?
I just got them today. They were posted the 13th. I just got them today. They from Annabeth.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Until filled, so whenever the app comes in, that's when it's until filled.
Okay. So is there a motion to appoint the applicants as presented?
To what capacity?
To the Tribal Housing Committee?
I would move it, Madam Chair.
We have a motion by Kenny. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Discussion.
Question.
Coley.
We was asking for the updated policies and handbook. Did we receive that and approve that? Because there was a hold up, that request to get the updated guidelines or whatever for the commission. How many times was that asked by the secretary?
Oh, this is tribal housing.
Oh, tribal housing.
Yeah, this is tribal housing.
Okay.
So we have a motion by Kenny and we have a second by Eugene. Any further discussion? Objection to the motion? Motion carried 8-0-0.
Okay.
Thank you to Tyresha and Willie.
I have a question on that, on those people who submit their names for that committee, who selects that, who comes before the board to be appointed? Because there's another person that was applied and their name wasn't mentioned.
So all applicants are received in the CEO's office, and the vacancies are advertised open until filled. And so it sounds like we received 2 applicants.
Three.
I'm not aware of the 3rd applicant. Do you know who you turned it into?
Tarisha.
Tyresha, did you have any more applications? Okay.
I only seen the 2 as well. I didn't see a 3rd.
Okay. So all applications are turned into Tyresha's to the CEO's office, and then they find themselves on the next available agenda. Typically, we fill them at the CEO report, but the Tribal Housing Committee has not been able to move forward with business because they don't have a full committee. So it was open until filled. If there are other applicants for consideration, you could, I guess, we'll look at them. I don't know. Okay. So that brings us to tribal council items. And the first item on the agenda is the winter break that I added. And this discussion was kind of came out of some other actions and discussions at the tribal council table. And this whole effort started with also revisions to our Winnebago Tribe Policies and Procedures Manual. And in that manual, there were new holidays and new time off acknowledged. And we had heard that, we'd heard from our elders that there was a time and place to be using the language, and it wasn't for tribal organization holidays. And so thank you to those elders that took the time to come down here and express themselves and share their wisdom and teachings that that this table needs to be careful on how we move and utilize our culture in our everyday life. So, but from that, the council decided to approve that holiday, and then after further thought, the council decided to do away with that holiday. And so, in the midst that it was approved, there was support and celebration amongst some of the families, and then there was concern amongst some of the families that services would suffer during this downtime. And so the tribal council has spent a lot of time listening to the tribal members on how they feel in either direction. And I think that's what brought all you good people here this evening, was to hear the discussion. And I just wanted to start off by explaining why I put this on the agenda and called it something new, is because I didn't want to be offensive to anybody in the way that we're operating the organization. And that when I put it back on the agenda, I had told Lorelai that I was really upset that things had gone the way they did. And I had made a list. Where's my list now? But so I just want to acknowledge a few things for the membership that we learned in the couple years that really, I think, gives weight to how we got here. Over 2 years ago, the tribe commissioned a wage study, and Human Resources, through a contractor, did this study. And what we learned from that study is that the tribal organization are severely underpaid employees. And most of you already knew that, that work for the tribe. And so the tribal council was trying to find the resource to give our employees a raise, do what we could, and we just weren't able to meet that mark. So what we did was we moved the employees that were below the 50%, the 50 percentile based on that wage study, and we gave them a little boost. Well, that really didn't have much impact on their livelihood, but it's what we could do. And then there's been no merit raises, not in the past budgets and not in this year's budget. So no one's getting a merit increase. We have been able to give COLA, so thank you to the council for supporting and being able to fund that. And then we're coming off of a 5-year wage freeze. And so the employees have not only gotten merit increases, but they have also not had these this wage freeze. So there were all these reasons why the pressure was on the council to try to find resource to accommodate and answer our underpaid employees. So these days off were another way to provide, I guess, compensation and recognition for their work. And then the next thing that I guess thought about was we recently had an economic impact study done, and one of the things that we learned out of that was that in 30 years our child poverty has not decreased. And so that's something that the table really needs to think about, how we triage that and how we acknowledge that child poverty is prevalent in our community. And then the other thing we learned in that economic impact study was that unfortunately the male relatives are disproportionately represented in the workforce in our community, and many of the families either have a single parent or there's only one person working in the household. So knowing that we have underpaid employees, knowing that we have a bunch of single parents, there was this thought that the tribe should mirror the school's time off and Educare's time off. And Educare had already had a policy committee and parent policy committee that made that available to that team. So the tribe, always trying to be fair, I suppose, to all the employees, were looking to how we could offer something like that. And it was a very knee-jerk response because the tribe has never done anything like this. In my time here, we've never done anything like this. The college shuts down during their winter break. So in summary, that's why I put it back on the agenda, was because there was a real, true, sincere thought for the families that they could be home with their children during this winter break, and that the organization, through the leadership of the departments and Esther and Linnell, had put contingency plans in place to provide services at any time of day or hour, because those things already happen in inclement weather, in time of morning when offices are closed. All those services have a way of continuing. And so the other part is some of those essential employees, they already understand their role, and regardless if the tribe gives off, when those roles are called upon, like finance has to at any given moment come cut a check for maybe relatives in mourning, maybe crisis, or maybe somebody had to call upon the 250 emergency assistance. So I guess I have no doubt that services would continue under other conditions, whether it be a holiday, inclement weather, or other unfortunate time away from the office. So I just know that there's a lot to be said, but since I added it to the agenda, I wanted to make an opening statement and thank everybody that came down here tonight to express themselves, to give support in any way that you see fit, and that this whole effort was about being together, and that every day each of us are dealing with a hardship in our own way, whether it be relatives that are not on a good path, whether it be our own mourning or relationship stuff. Like, there's always something going on, and when we leave our desk, we go take care of those things. And so I just, in a good way, wanted to share those things, that the tribal employees work very hard. And thank you to the Tribal Council for recognizing the Physical Resources Department, and that we had, for like several months, been trying to make sure Physical Resources got their raise. And I think we're working closer to that, because we get it, we know, and we're working on it, and we're trying. So I just want to offer that, and then open the floor up to the Tribal Council, and then after that to the membership on this topic.
Well, myself, I have a different point of view. You guys already know that. But the whole tribe, our employees and us, we serve the Winnebago tribal members. And our job is to be here and serve you. And so I didn't support this long break, because I worry about continuing our services for our tribal members. And I also know that we try to stay within budget so that we're not misusing our people's money that we are the stewards of. And I didn't agree that we should pay $71,000 a year for employees to stay a day for employees to stay home. I didn't agree with that, and I voted no on it. Our job is to be here for our tribal members. One example is we paid out. We were able to. Warhorse gave us, it was just under $900,000. One time that we got it, and we wanted to put that towards the members, that you can get something from our first year of Warhorse, because it's ours, all of us. So we put that towards having our tribal members each get $500. We had to find some other money to do that, but we wanted you to get something this year from your casino Warhorse. And so, but there's a window. They have 90 days from the time we approved it to get their check. And there's a lot of them that are still calling in that are not getting their check, even though the address is correct. And I don't know what's going on with the postal system. So those tribal members are calling in, and if we're on a break, how are they going to get their check in that 90-day period that they're in? And they're happening every day. They're not getting their check. And they've been waiting since we gave these out on November 16th and 17th. We have to be here. So myself, I didn't support that. And I'm glad that we're going to take a look at it. And so it's not going to happen in 2023. But we are going to do, we found out that we already paid for a Survey Monkey account. We're going to survey the tribal members and get your input on anything we may do in 2024. And also Survey Monkey the employees. So I'm just speaking up from my own point of view. And I'm glad we're not doing that this year. So I'm speaking for myself. Thank you.
Thanks, Lorelei. Cooley.
Somewhere down the line, these minutes are inaccurate. So that has to be reviewed. It must be these physical resource ones, because that's when this came up. Or the human resources one. Because I made the motion to not observe it for 2023, to keep it on the table for 2024. So it doesn't state that, but
It's in the physical resources.
So the action that, the motion and the action took place, for, Monty Kisak, and so that was, I guess for lack of a better word, repealed at the table. And those motions were made. And I was out of town at the Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board meeting when this took place, so I was just really disappointed that I didn't know it was gonna be on the agenda and I couldn't join to be a part of the discussion. So when Lorelai and I touched base on Friday, she said, "Oh, I'm putting the agenda together. Is there anything you wanna add?" And I said, "You know, as a matter of fact, I wanna take another run at it, call it something else, because I really think the employees deserve this. I think that their families will cherish this time, and if there's one good core memory that comes out of this, it's gonna be worth it." So there's so many different reasons why this would be positive, and there's good reasons, like Lorelai shared, why this could be harmful if there was some type of unanswered outreach.
It's on the 14th, last page, Cole.
So this agenda item is the first,
human
Physical resources, the 14th, last page.
so I didn't want to get Robert's Rules of Order, so I called it something new, so it's a new issue, it's new business.
Page 4?
Don't have it.
don't have it. That's why I listed it.
Oh, it's page 4. I just made copies for the CEO and then she got page 4?
No, I don't have anything about a physical resource report.
So those minutes aren't approved either. They should have been approved on tonight's meeting, correct?
They are.
They were?
Yeah, I think I'm only approved it, but yeah, we don't have a copy of it.
I made copies of all the minutes for you guys and put them in your box. Your inbox.
Just the packet we were given right here.
Did you guys check your inbox?
Well, there was a motion, I guess if they were in the packet or not, it was on the agenda and there was a motion that they got approved.
I had Tyresha make copies of these for the CEO because she didn't have them. This is,
It's on the physical resource towards the end of the minutes, so I don't know what page it is, but it was discussed on the physical resource report towards the end, and then you guys actually approved it at the human resources meeting, if I remember correctly.
yeah, you got 13 and 14 too that went in your box.
Esther, do you want to make a comment? Do you want to provide some guidance here, some context?
Well, I guess we were just talking about the meeting when all of this occurred. So just to clarify that, the physical resource report was on the 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was when that action occurred, that was last Thursday, okay, yeah. When you gave me meeting minutes, you only gave me December 4th and December 12th.
Oh, I didn't make a packet for you, I made them for the council. And then the 13th and 14th, I put in your box, cause I was still typing them. Yesterday.
So the meeting from the 14th didn't get approved today.
Yeah, it got approved, it's on the agenda here. And I thought everybody had the 13th and 14th, cause I put them in your box. Yesterday.
Okay, so, okay, well, Rona, I guess my question is, do you want to rescind your motion or do you want to leave it if those minutes aren't in this packet?
I don't have them with me, but I do have them on my desk.
So did you get a chance to review them though? Are you okay with,
Yeah.
so you're okay with your motion? Okay. Eric, are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, all right, well, those minutes were provided and the motion passed, so. But there's, Coley, I don't wanna circle back, so is the issue what's in those minutes, or what did you wanna talk about?
Oh, okay, just to continue on. Yeah, because on the human services one, on December 1st. We did kind of buzz through them. And Eugene declared a motion to modify the Monty Keysec to a dater after Chris. There's a typos. And then on this one, it's spelled that way, MANI/KI/SAK. Then on the physical resources, it's MA space NI space KI space SAK. So there's I was stuck on that. I was stuck on that typo, and we did kind of buzz through them. So I just wanted to make it clear to everybody, and because I was looking for that to make sure the motion that was made and was correct, and it is. This is Coley Brown motion to remove the Monty Pacific holiday in 2023, get more tribal input to consider in 2024 from employees and tribal members. Lorelei seconded it. It was 5 yes, 0 no, 0 abstentions, 5-0 motion carried. So everybody agreed to that. Everybody agreed to consider it in 2024. So I just wanted to clear that. And I will make a motion to approve the winter break for 2023 coming up. What's the details?
That's already been approved.
No, it was presented under a Ho-Chunk name, and it was named after a significant time in our culture, and that was not appreciated. It was not appreciated, and it was not right for us to do that. So the council repealed that, and there'd been advocacy from the parents that we really wanted that. And so I put it back on the agenda and called it a winter break, and I'm taking another run at trying to get the employees time off, is what I'm doing.
That's what this motion
And
is
so,
now?
okay, so
Second
we have
that
a motion on the
But
floor.
what's the date? What's the winter break?
And
I don't know what the dates
We have
are.
a motion and a second, so discussion, are the dates the same ones that were approved for as originally presented, which is the 26th through the 31st? Is that the days?
You wanna make that caveat about not observing on weekend?
Correct. Add that in there if it needs to be.
What are the dates of the winter break?
The 26th through the 31st in 2023 and
Excluding weekends.
excluding weekends.
So what, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31?
Yes.
The tribe's gonna be shut down and not serving our members?
That's part of those are the weekends. That's part of that's not even work days, but that's the gap, that's the
Which
window
ones are
of
the
calendar.
weekends?
2 days of weekend.
Well,
Saturday,
this year, 2023.
Saturday and Sunday are weekends.
Yeah.
30 and 31st. 30th is Saturday, 31st is Sunday. So it would be Wednesday the 27th, Thursday the 28th, and Friday the 29th. Those are the days to be included in that motion, I believe, as what was presented for that. Correct?
Yeah.
That's the way it was presented, yeah.
Discussion. Would anyone from the table like to make a comment on the motion?
I'm opposed.
Make a comment.
Eugene.
So just to give a quick history about like the way it was presented, I know this has been discussed 3 or 4 times now at the table, but the DHD, the directors of the tribe, you know, got at the table and kind of gave us their update and what they wanted for the approval for the HR manual. And that decision was made among them. They made a vote to it, brought it to the table, and this motion for this holiday went through 3 different versions before it ever got to where it is now. There was an original motion to accept it as it is, because at first it was the 24th through January 1st would be all tribal holidays. That was the original motion. That one, it did not pass, and I think and then the other motion came from Lorelei to just remove it altogether, and that didn't pass. So when I came in with my motion, I had the feeling that the table was still thinking about it, that everybody here kind of still has an idea that this could work. So when I made the motion to have it be through between the 26th to the 31st, you know, in that thought, you're still thinking about our 24-hour, 24/7 staff. You know, you're thinking about our dispatchers. You're thinking about our YCIC workers, that they would still receive their double pay essentially between Christmas and New Year's, because I know they do look forward to that. That's kind of a perk of that job, and I was really hoping they didn't lose that. But you know, made the motion, it did pass. Like we're doing with this motion right now, making that caveat to not include the weekends wouldn't be part of it. But I guess I'll just give a little bit of reasoning why I even made the motion. Just when I think about our people, and I think about our employees, and I think about who this would affect, and I completely understand Lorelai's point of view. It's very valid, you know, but in that same breath, I want to think about our parents and our children, and those parents that are actually putting in that effort to be at home with their children and make an effort to give them a better life. I referenced my previous job as the sports coordinator, and watching all of our parents be involved with their children, be there every day for them, doing everything they can for them. And so for me, I know that, you know, from the table, what we can affect is what we can affect, which is, you know, the tribal employees. And so again, you know, with that support from the DHD and having an understanding from our directors, our paid professionals, having a real reasoning and thought process behind it, and making sure that the services wouldn't just completely stop, that they will exist. I know that there's already, before it got rescinded on last week, that there are contingencies in place. I know one of my guys down there at the commod building, he said, well, I'm the on-call, if somebody needs commods, they're calling me and I'm going down and giving out commods. If that's one of the biggest things, you know, that we need to get done, there are, you know, places in there. As far as it costing us extra money, I mean, it's already payroll. It's going to go out no matter what. It's already being paid. So it's not like it's costing us any extra money, you know, so we're not spending money that belongs to the members, nothing like that. It's already part of payroll. It's already being paid out. But just, I mean, I just want to give everybody my piece. I know there's a lot of people online listening, and everybody kind of wanted to know why'd you make the motion? Why'd you do that? Well, that's who I'm thinking about. You know, I really feel that that's going to be a positive thing for those that are putting in that effort with their children. I think about our single moms, our single dads, those ones that are there every day for them. I know that's a time that they will spend very well with their children. Thank you.
Thanks, Eugene. We have Misty that'd like to make a comment. Misty, you want to come up to the podium? Then all the folks on the phone can hear your comments.
I also had a question about things that, since it's gonna be closed, some of us have kids and a lot of kids. Like for me, for instance, since everything's gonna be closed, is the gym gonna be open, or
Correct.
like
The
things like that
gym's
for
not
us
under
to
the
do as
tribe.
a family?
Yeah, the gym's not under the tribe, it's under the hospital. They'll be
Okay,
open. Boys and Girls Club will be open as well.
Okay, so that was my question for.
Thanks, Misty. Hello.
Marilyn.
Hello, Marilyn.
CC.
CC, I know I drew a blank.
I'm trying to be respectful, Marilyn.
Hi, CC.
Okay, you guys are talking about the tribe, right? Tribal employees, right? Yet you guys sit here and you guys say WCHS falls under the tribe, right? Am I right?
They're operating under their own, right? Because they're
Well, why
it's a
is it they
separate
say
entity.
we're under the tribe, but we're not under the tribe? So look at the employees that are down there. We don't get that, but all these people over here get it. Why? And you're talking about, okay, 71,000. Okay. Oh, that's nothing? Well, some of these programs need that. And why? What about the employees down there? We're Winnebago tribal members. We don't count. Answer, anybody?
I thought you were talking to
Yeah, I
him.
didn't know if it was a question
But I
or
have
not.
a response for you. Thank you for posing the question, and you're absolutely right. That was one of the discussion points, is that's not fair to our other entities in town, whether it be the hospital employees, the BIA employees, the Ho-Chunk Inc. employees. And so what we said was, we can only manage and make decisions over those that are within our I guess, approval line of authority. But I agree with you, and I said this to Coley, that I'm willing to take this to the WCHS Board of Directors and say, what can you do for your employees and still provide essential services? Because those that aren't clinical, there's space for flexibility there. And the other point to that, Coley and I had taken issue at the Board of Directors meeting because during homecoming, WCHS planned their employee day, and none of our tribal employees got to come over and be a part of homecoming. Or excuse me, none of the tribal members that are employees at WCHS got to come over and be a part of homecoming. And so there's a disconnect there. We said they need to know what's going on in our community so that they can be a part of it. And so I'd go as far to say that there's somewhere that we can meet in the middle with this, and it's going to be the board that would make that decision. And I'm willing to bring it to the board. You know, I can't make no promises this year because we already had our board meeting, or what that's going to look like for any of the other boards that we want to take a look at this, because it isn't. There's lots of things we could say aren't fair, and trying to line those things up and compare what each organization.
You guys didn't think about that. You guys didn't think about the other employees.
No, we didn't, because.
You thought about this part right here.
Yes.
Down here is all you guys thought about. You guys are talking about raises, all that. You know what? I haven't had a raise in probably about 8 years. And then you guys all make good money. All of these guys down here. But you guys don't look at any of that.
According to the wage study, they don't make good money. They make less than 50 percentile of that position in this area. So we have the data to show that, and that's what some of this was based on. I hear you 100%, CC. I'm willing to go to bat for you. That's my answer. Thelma, did you want to come down? And then Vanna had her hand up after that.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for hearing me out. I'd like to say that I hear where you're coming from to do something for the employees, because I know they work hard, especially facilities. I always like facilities, they do a lot of work. But you're thinking about the tribe, and I'm not sure where we stand financially since Alan Post left, how he left. And, I guess we're not really sure how we stand like that. And doing these administrative leaves, like she said, 71,000 a day, so it's gonna be 213,000 for those 3 days. That's, you know, that you guys are proposing here. I don't mind the days off, you know, I'm a tribal employee and I don't mind the days off, but I'm thinking about my elders and the other people who are unemployed, who don't work, you know, and that need these services that the tribe provides for them. It's vital to them. They don't have money, they're hurting. So I don't agree with this, these days off like that. If they want to take it off, I'm sure they got leave time or leave without pay. I do leave without pay. I just feel bad for our people, and I will just say, you know, think about it again, about your people. They are the ones that elected you in there where you're sitting now. You gotta think about that. They did. And you guys go around when you're campaigning, oh, you know, elders, this and that, you know, a lot of our people are poor without jobs, you know, you think about them, you're here to serve them, so, you know, don't throw them away and disregard them just because you want a day off. You know, the tribe does a lot for our employees as it is. They get days off, they have employee day, you know, they get bonuses, and they get a lot of incentives. And this tribe here, it's a business. It is a business because we provide services for a lot of people. And you want to be a white man way, you want to think about power, you want to think about money, you want to live the white man world. White man world does not do this for their employees. They do not do that. So you got to think about those things. So I just hope that you guys rethink about this. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for expressing that, Thelma, and thank you for kind of always paying attention and being a part of the discussion. I'll just to your point, I just want to share this for one of the things, you know, where we all draw our support from somewhere, and we do something at the table and make people mad and we lose that support. We do something good at the table, we gain some support. And so it's just that way. And one thing that I'll say, I guess, for everybody's benefit, I suppose, is the tribal employees are the largest voting bloc of the tribal election. And so the tribal employees have an interest in what happens in the organization. And they have a huge role in electing the tribal leaders. And so I have an interest in making sure that that they're well compensated, that we have a budget that can support the programs that they work in so that they can offer the services. And so I'm not naive to that point, and I'm guided by the decisions that are made at this table, and I'm guided by what the constituents, tribal members share. So that's what brought me to this point. So thank you, Thelma, for mentioning that. Vanna had her hand up next, and then it was Coley after that.
Hello, good evening. I was in favor of the days, which would be 27, 28, 29. That's 3 days off. And the reasons why, because I started thinking about it and I thought it's safe for our children. It's safe for our parents to be home with their children during this time. If we're at work, then we'll have older siblings babysitting who aren't, you know, really babysitting. We'll have grandparents with 10, 15 grandkids, so the parents can work. And then some will just be left unsupervised. I kind of started asking a young lady who had a baby, and I said, so if daycare's closed, how much do you have to pay for your baby to go somewhere else? And she said, $30 a day. So on top of Christmas and everything else this parent has to pay, she's gonna have to pay in addition $90 a day if we're not granted those days off. And another thing, so I have a grandbaby. She goes to Educare. Yesterday, she was diagnosed with RSV, hand, foot, and mouth, and COVID. She is, and then I learned 2 of her other classmates were also sick. She's 9 months old, and it's scary for her parents and for myself. It's her first time having COVID, her first time having RSV, and hand, foot, and mouth. I think it's safe for the babies to be home. Nobody can take better care of these babies than their parents. So I think it's a great break. It kind of sounds like we could even quarantine at home, stop the sickness, stop spreading the illness from child to child. Parents can then, you know, stay home, deep clean, make sure that their, you know, kids are healthy, declutter their homes. That will help with their mental health. I just think it's in the best interest of the children that our parents are home and supervised and safe and stop spreading the sickness that's going on. Thanks.
Thanks, Vanna, for sharing that. Coley has a comment, and then after that, Craig.
I just wanted to state that we did talk about our other entities, like the hospital. We mentioned that if we could just have our tribal members you know, participate in this with the Winnebago, with the tribal employees down here. But right now I was told that it could be illegal. That's what our HR told us. So, and that's why, you know, we need to research that more, and we'll advocate for it, Tori and I, at the hospital, and however else, you know, people that are essential, that have to work, YCIC and so on. That will all be worked out. And during COVID, that whole year, you know, we did it. You know, nobody was working, and we went almost a whole year like that. And we handled the things, and we got emails and we got phones, and people will be at work when they need to, when they get called. Thanks.
Thanks, Coley. Craig, want to come up to the podium?
Yujan Kishina Hanachi Nikaragi. First, I want to say greetings to each and one of you. Excuse my new look here, my hair, but it's me, Tony. But you know, I just wanna you know, agree with you know those who are in favor of this, and you know, the Mani Kisak thought and feeling has brought to the attention. You know, I'm here on behalf of, you know, myself, the village, and expressing, you know, I'm only human being. You know, we have no power over anything. But you know, we think about this word of non-chuja, compassion, and then, you know, then we talk about you know, we're not a business. We're Walchiki Choinawin, you know, we're born Ho-Chunk. And that, you know, and we're gonna go as a Ho-Chunk. And we talk about this time how our people used to be a long time ago. Our people, they used to come together and sit with our elders, our children, our family. They call it wajoki, being together as one, Ho-Chunk, Ijakira Wogahiwi, and having that one mind and being together as one. And sometimes, and we get all twirled up and into this, you know, our everyday life of over there. Our children are over here, and we don't really get that much time to come and be around our children. Sometimes, you know, 5 o'clock comes around, and we have a few hours, and we're talking about our children, and we're talking about our elders, and sometimes we have a few hours, and they're back into, you know, into their own routine. And I miss my son. You know, I want to spend time with him, and miss my family, want to spend time with them. And so, however way, you know, you put this money aside, you know, as my brother always says, Isaac, you know, he talks about that money, what it can affect. Push that money aside and think about this word, non-chuja, compassion. We only get one life. We only get one choka, one dega, one son. We can't look forward to next year, how it's going to affect now and everything else, what's going on. And so I'm in favor of doing this. And yeah, you know, we're going to have disagreements, but like I was saying, not chuja, compassion.
Thank you, Craig. This gentleman has a comment. It's Mr. Painter. Is he a painter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, Ronnie.
I would like to let you know about, like Tricky said, services for elders and whatnot. And we will continue doing that as grounds crew, like snow removal. And if we got to get called in for like funerals, get wood and whatnot, we'll come in for that. But I'm in agreement with taking this break. I just want to let you guys know that our services will be here.
Ronnie, I just want to thank you for coming down here as a young man, and you know, there's a lot that have taken notice of this discussion, and I'm really proud of the parents and the young people that are kind of taking a stance, and it's very difficult to disagree with your elders, you know, and in the most respectful way, you know, these comments have been shared and these perspectives have been shared, and so I just want to thank everybody for being a part of the discussion in a healthy way. And that to the Physical Resources Department, we're thankful that you guys hung in there, and that we know that inclement weather, hot burning sun, just you guys are out there during it all, and if this is one thing that we can show you appreciation, I hope it goes a long way, you know, if it passes. And you guys, not to just be, that one department brought us so much services through the pandemic and after, and it was kind of eye-opening to me to know all the things that that department takes care of. So I just want to say thank you again. That's all.
I just wanted to say that, you know, like I said, I'm employed and I'm thankful that I have a job. And with my job, the grant ends in March, so I have a short window here that I'm trying to do something for my people. I'm a crime victim advocate, so I got a very short time. I do not like November and December due to these holidays because I can't get things done that I want to get done and accomplish for my job and for my people. So that's just what I forgot to mention, right? So I just want to say that.
Yeah, if we could ask for a no-cost extension, if your grant ends and you still have funding to continue your work, that's an option. Is that true, guys? I mean, is your grant funding ending or just the term of the grant?
I think the term of the grant, and then it's supposed to start up again in October. But like right now, we're working with the code revision and these things that have to be done. So right now it's illegal, so it's just like, and doing community things, education, all those are put to a stop for these months because I can't get it done, you know. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can support you in an extension of that grant. Who had their hand up next? Looks like, is that Danae? Hi, Danae. You want to come up to the podium? Looks like Jane Archibald.
I came down here to listen, actually, and I really wasn't planning on standing up, but just listening to everybody, you know, I think it's just for clarification, like it would be 2 extra days, the 27th and 28th. I mean, hearing all these dates of the 22nd through this date or whatever makes it sound long, but in reality, you know, it's just 2 days added on to the holidays we're already taking.
3.
We get off on the 29th at noon, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get off on the 29th at noon already. So then it would just be the 27th and 28th would be added on to them dates. 2 additional days to that already. But where I work, working for the physical resource department, like already right now on the weekends, there's no breaks, you know. So even with if we get a extended holiday or then 2 days added on or whatever, like work doesn't stop for us, you know. It never did. It doesn't through the pandemic. It didn't. And so that's just something to take into consideration too, you know. And we provide a lot of the services, the physical resource department, facilities, you know, roads department, you know, all the programs that are under the physical resource department, like it doesn't stop, even on the weekends. Like right now, we got a call, like they're gonna be out there, and it's already like that. So, you know, and then another clarification is sitting there listening to everybody talk about money or whatever, like that money is gonna get paid out no matter if we're at work, if we take PTO, or if we get admin. No matter what, like it's not any extra money, it's no extra cost, and I don't know, I just wanted to make some clarifications, and I wasn't even gonna get up and talk, I just wanted to listen, but I'm sitting there like, wait, they're saying this, they're saying that, no, it's not. So, I don't know, I don't know if like others are just like misinterpreting everything, I don't know, that's all I wanted to say.
Thanks for sharing that, Danae. Hi, Mary. Mary's got a comment.
Hello, good evening. I was employed with the tribe before and with different departments. And in my last job, it was called essential because we had to be there for different employees. I used to work for the tribal transit, and we were considered essential employees, so we had to be there. Even though the tribal employees took time off, we still had to be there. Otherwise, if we had annual leave built up, then we took annual leave. But admin leave didn't really pertain to us as like facilities, roads, you know, they're considered essential employees. We were still under the tribe, but we still had to work. And I agree with a lot of these people here. A lot of young people have kids. And they want to be home, but if they have annual leave, and if they're not considered an essential employee, they're just SOL. I mean, that's the way it used to be. Now, I don't know about now, because everybody's talking this way and that way, and get it straight. You're an essential employee or you're not. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Yes, hi, Cece.
I guess what I want to say is that clarification probably needs to be, it needs clarification for them. From what I understand, this Monte Kisa started in the human resources, and it's a part of a policy manual, correct? And it's in that policy manual, right?
No, it was repealed.
Was removed.
When?
The day that you were here.
The
So
14th.
what are you trying to do now? See, it's confusing, and I understand everything that your explanation about why you put it on the agenda. And it sounds really good and everything. All right, the problem that I have with it is, and the rest of you need to know that it was approved under the assumption that it was gonna be Monte Kisa, that all of you were gonna go home and play games with your kids and learn Indian words and the whole thing, cultural activities, go to the ceremonies that were given out by whoever. That's what the problem is that was why this was set up. So when it came time to the explanation of why, it came out that it had nothing to do with culture. It had all to do with kids needing their moms home. And so, you know, everything that we heard here tonight about the children, you know, being taken care of and not neglected, and kids being sick, and maybe that's gonna work if everybody stays home and takes care of their kids. You know, this is a whole total discussion from how it was presented. So, you know, as grandparents, we understand that. Dot Holton got up here and talked the other day. And she did say she worked for this organization since 1970 something. She had kids, she raised them, and she took time off. She said, if I can do it, why can't they? Is what she said. And Kenny Mallory said, this is at this time, right now, it's the best this organization, this tribal council has ever treated their tribal employees. And he's right. Look at the benefits that you all receive if you work for the tribe. You get a bonus. Tribal members, you get a bonus. And if the tribe gives out a per cap, you get that too. So us elderly people that don't work, we got $500. And the tribal employees, because you're appreciated so much, you got $1,500. The tribal council received $1,000. Because they work real hard. This job's hard. Is the explanation why they gave themselves $1,000 bonus. So the disparities that tribal members see in other tribal people that aren't as fortunate as you to have a job, have an education, they're SOL. So there's elders out there that, other ones that I visited with, and then some of them came up and we visited about this whole situation. And they weren't for it. Some work on that senior program. And they would get the time off and pay. And they said, what's my nephew doing over there? Why is he doing that? Because no matter what you say, emergencies, you know, the way that we deal with death, someone dies, we got that one down pat. Because every one of us here are mourners. So, you know, I don't agree with the time off in folks. I think that you should both go to work those 3 days. If you really care about your tribal members, your chokers, your cockers, your aunties, come to work. And if you need to stay home with your children, take your leave. That's what a lot of the seniors said, they earn leave, don't they? Why don't they take their leave? And those are elders that work on that pilot, they still call it a pilot project, senior pilot project. They're willing to come in. They didn't like how it was done the other day. So, you know, when you do things that's gonna have a real big effect, and you must have known it was gonna have a big effect along the way, you must have known that. If Esther didn't need clarification the other day, tribal members out here would not have known anything. You would have did it, and after the fact, people would have been like, what the heck did they do? So, you know, I appreciate the good words that everyone's saying and talking about, you know, why we should do this. Why, I should say, why the organization should get the time off. There's like a little over 1,000 tribal members on this reservation. I don't know about the kids, what that number is. And the organization has, what, 300 employees? Somewhere around there. 60 Caucasian or non-Winnebago or I don't know how many non-tribal members. But most of the non-tribal members have connections with Winnebago tribal members. So if we're talking about the election block, maybe 800 people out there that your emotions affect. So you need to think about those other members too, of that election block. I know I came up to a lot of you and I asked you about elders. You gave a real good response. Appreciate that. And the way that I heard Ruben Snake talk about the elders, I can't quote him verbatim, but he said, you need to listen to them. need to talk to them. And you have beautiful words how to describe those things, how to do it. Because sitting there, you're not just representing tribal employee block. 1,000 plus out there that vote, that can vote. So I hope that the council will see fit that the tribal members, the tribal employees come to work on those days and get their services. Because there might be somebody, and some of you might know that, a lot of them, some of these people don't have cell phones. They don't get online and check out, what's on Facebook, what the tribe's doing. Instead, if they need something, they walk down to Human Services and that door will be locked and they won't even know it until that day up. Those are the ones that we should be helping. For those people that need something over here, they come in and they want something, they need something, but they can't get an approval because no one's here. Like I said the other day, people with fixed incomes, people who don't have money, those people, everything that they do is an emergency. When you have a dime in your pocket, $100 in your pocket, you can go get that loaf of bread or a six-pack soda, things like that. You don't see it as an emergency, but people who don't have money see things as an emergency.
Point of order, Madam Chair.
CC,
Thank you for your time.
thank you, CC, for your comment. I just wanted to provide one response to one point you made. We agree that the senior pilot program workers are very valuable employees to the organization, and we had heard that they needed a raise, and so this fiscal year we weren't able to give them that raise, but the tribal council was able to make them eligible for the full $1,000 bonus. So each of them, regardless of when they started or what tier they fell in, they all received $1,000. So that was one thing that we were able to do and was within our reach. So that was one positive thing, looking to better support the senior pilot workers. Irita has her hand up. Irita is the director of the Physical Resources Department and has been helpful in many of the projects we're working on.
Hello everybody. Sorry if you hear background noise. My kids are kind of fighting. So, but I just kind of wanted to clarify. I keep hearing the number come up of 71,000, but I don't think people actually realize that when we are at work, we have other expenses that we are spending, which means utilities, water, and any other stuff that is needed, internally, any type of utilities, that's stuff that we are paying for. So it is expenses on top of that. But also, I kind of wanted to point out that, our department, like I said before, our department, we don't stop working. And not too long ago, like Vanna said, there's an illness going around. I was out of work for a week. And, my time away, I use my PTO. Christmas, I didn't plan on being off just because I was out for that week. But, right now, sitters aren't really reliable. Educare's out, those staff are out, so I don't think some parents understand. And, I have a grandmother who has, 23 great grandkids. She probably has maybe 8 of them. So I just don't think some people think like that because, our elders, they are getting older. Some of us depend on them. But, that's just kind of something that I wanted to mention because, I know, I know Esther probably gets tired of me because the only time I ever take off is when my kids are sick. But, I might be a little emotional just because I'm pregnant, but, but that's just something that's kind of been on my mind, just because, Educare, they have constant RSV going around. My son had it, he actually had 3 upper respiratories plus pneumonia. So it's going around, and I just think that, this break would help those kids, stay away from each other. And besides going to other people's houses as well, because we don't know if some of those kids are carrying COVID. And COVID is really high right now. And that's kind of concerning to me as well, because I'm sending my kids, to another town right now at this point. So that's just something to consider too. I know my staff kind of had their concerns on it being off, but regardless, we don't stop working. Our phones don't stop. We're constantly, doing something, but I know we have big projects that are coming up. We have meetings on, and those are scheduled during the break. So there are times where, like Danae and Ron and Lily, they'll still be working because those projects have to continue on. Same with our emergency home repair, senior home repair, like all those projects are still going to continue on regardless of this break. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there just a little bit, just because, our work don't stop.
Thank you, Arita, for your comment. There's a lot of people watching the meeting. I got a Facebook inbox that wanted to remind us of the college students that are returning from home that would be really nice to have a day or two with their parents that they may not have had opportunity to. So that's something I didn't even acknowledge. So thank you for our college students that worked hard, made it through the semester, and want a break with their family. Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, Thelma's got another comment.
You're talking about physical resources and these ones that have to work on those days that everybody else is off on, can they get modified schedule where they can take that day off since they didn't have to work that day?
So those departments, some of them are on call, and so going back to how the original discussion started, whatever we call it, the DHD, when they made this decision, they had vetted out kind of all these challenges and what the contingency plans would be to provide these services in that kind of environment. And so the council had to entrust in our DHD and our CEO and CAO that they had completely vetted, I guess I can't forget our HR director, they had completely vetted how this would impact the organization, and weighing those merits, what came forward was this recommendation from the DHD to have time off. Are there any further comments? Eli, you have a comment?
Good evening, council and community members. If you don't know me, my name is Eli Painter. I want to ask my elders to forgive me for speaking for them. Collecting information, listening in on you guys. I do recommend a break because a lot of us who push hard, I'll take the fire department, for example. When we have calls back to back to back, we do need a rest. But same thing with the fire department. If you guys do take a break, I know each and every one of you, once you get a call from someone, you'll come to work. Same thing with us at the fire department. We do have a lot of downtime, but as soon as that call comes in, we're pushing straight for the door. And if we do that break, I assume my councilmen and women will do the same. I was unemployed for a long time, so I can feel a lot of what my community members would go through without a tribal job. And I am thankful for the organization to pick me back up as tribal security. But I do see the struggles, and I went through that struggle without having a job. For the ones who work off reservation, like my wife, it's hard to do stuff for the fire department now because she's no longer working within the tribal organization. The point I want to try to come across is there's not a lot of tribal jobs available at any age range. And if we could, let's try to develop more jobs for our young ones who are growing up, who are becoming 18, 20 now. We would like them to stay within the community, help out with the community, pick up on our language, pick up on our culture. If we don't have a stable job for them, they're going everywhere else and they're learning everyone else's ways. The reason I bring that up is I waited a long time to get back into this position that I'm in. A lot of bills have gone overdue and I'm in the hole, which I know a lot of my community members who don't have jobs are the same way. So if we could, even though this is off the topic, we need to develop jobs for our people. Not just in my age range, my elders, my young ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Eli, for that encouragement, and it's been great having you back in the building. I just want to tell everybody how polite Eli is and how helpful he is, and if you ever got to be greeted by him, he tries to do whatever he can to find you an answer. Okay, are there any further comments before we call to yes, excuse me, yes, Cece?
Can we hear from the other council members?
Certainly, certainly. John Rave has his hand up. John, if you'd like to make a comment, and then after that, Julie Paulson.
I'm just gonna go off what I think I know. So it sounds like some people don't want this part to have day off because they ain't having it, and also I don't know what Monte Kisa. I mean, do people really know what Monte Kisa means? I mean, I think I know what it means. But anyways, and then so like I really I don't get to see my daughter for but only 3 hours a day, and then I was really looking forward to this time. And then also I have my brother's kids, and today before I came here we was shooting hoops, and then their smiles really got real big. Hey, you know, showing us, and they started doing jump shots. But you know, I was thinking this time would be the perfect time to do this, be with family, and there's nothing more cultural than being with your family, and especially since what I'm hearing, what I think I know, that during these winter times we sit around and tell stories and all that, and also like get into the culture. And I talk whole chunk in my household every day, and today I bought myself a whiteboard with a marker and eraser, and I told them what they're gonna do and what we're gonna do every day, and they're looking forward to it. And then also I'm thinking, I don't know what this is gonna hurt, that certain ones get the day off when these plans have already been put in place. If something happens, it's already ready. That's just what I'm gonna end off right there.
Thank you, John. Julie, did you want to make a comment?
Hello everybody, my name is Julie. I'm a single parent, so I don't know if that was Natasha that messaged you, but I was teasing her. I was like, let's go down to the meeting because she's back from college, you know, she's ending her junior year, she's going in for education. She also plays basketball. She has to do her student like practicums, so like we hardly ever get to see her. I might go down on Saturdays to catch a game. Just was excited to spend time with her, and I don't know about you guys, but I like to schedule my kids' like dental and eye appointments and stuff on their days off because they have that incentive program, and my kids do have perfect attendance, so like, you know, they have eye appointments coming up, and I'm gonna have to take leave for those days, but I don't want them to miss their little incentive trip, so like they can't be in school because, you know, they have dental. But I like to plan those on their days off, so like next week I would, like, they have eye appointments and stuff, but you know, like, because they have the incentive up at the school, I just think it's a good time to be with family, and also like being with my mom. Like every day I'm like, geez, I should be going and hanging out with her. You know, she's 83, and I took my daughter over there this morning. She's 10. You know, I was like, you want to go hang out with grandma today? Because I don't feel right just leaving you home. You know, your other sisters are probably asleep, staying up late. But she was excited to go hang out with her grandma, you know, but I just think we could all be doing that together. Like, I have women basketball this Friday. She plays down in Omaha. Originally, it's supposed to be 3 and 5 o'clock games. I looked today, now it's 2 and 12 and 2. I was like, well, how am I going to do that? Because we, you know, but I don't know. I just try to be involved in my girls' curricular activities and education too. Like, I don't want them to miss school, so that's why I plan to make their doctor's appointments. Natasha has to get a appointment because she has a concussion, so she's on concussion protocol. So I'll probably make an appointment next week to go probably to Pender because she has to do like some paperwork so she can get back on the court to play. But I just want to say that much, you know, like, just, yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
Thank you, Julie, and hope she gets back on the court. We just want to see her. Okay, that was from Monica. So the question was to hear from the table, so I just want to open up the table for comment. Rona has her hand up.
Okay, good evening. This is Rona. When this first came out and the word Manikisak was used, and I said, you know, is that a way of trying to push something across the table to say we're being ho-chunk? You know, and I didn't appreciate that you were using a traditional meaning and time of year to get those days off. But after, you know, listening to everybody and understanding everything, and the way I like to operate is come to the table with a full plan. Don't come back later and say, oh, by the way, this is, you know, this is what we plan to do, or these are the contingency plans. The contingency plans came after the fact. All that was presented to us was a word and a date and a policy manual, but no meaning, no contingency plan, nothing. So that's why I voted no. But in realizing and looking at what we do and seeing how unique we are as a tribe and we are here for our people, you know, we can do what we want. And some of the things, you know, we're talking about the single parents, that's going to help them, yes. But as older as I am, you know, and maybe some other people, they have elder adults at home that they could be spending time with. They shouldn't be left alone. So it's not like they're not going to be taken care of, because if you have the time off, you're going to go see them. I mean, if you were a good daughter, a good son, you know, good grandchild, you would be spending that time with your elder and there won't be left alone. So I support, you know, the elders, I support the children, and looking at this and hearing from, you know, all the people and the comments that are made, I do support this because we are unique. We are Ho-Chunk people. We stand together. We love one another. And I don't think anybody's going to be left alone or without services. The way these contingency plans are made up, I think nobody will be left behind. Nobody should be left behind because everybody should be checking on their elders. They won't be alone. So I'm going for it now. I didn't in the beginning because there wasn't nothing to present it to me in writing. But now that I see everything, I've heard from employees, I've heard from the community, and they're able to help out those other families who do not have childcare. So, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, just from experience, I'm not worried about votes, but I think that I was put here to evaluate from both sides, and then I form my own decision. I'm not going to have somebody come to this table and bully me into a decision. I observed. I like both comments. I see it both ways. But at this moment in time, I support it because everybody can check on their elders. They can have childcare for their children. And next year, you know, Tori and Coley, they're going to support the hospital. And maybe it'll spread from there. And then everybody be, you know, having time off. But like I said, I didn't support it in the beginning, but I do now. Thank you.
Thanks, Rona, for your comment. And I guess I say this for everyone's, Rona, in her I've learned about Rona that she wants everything up front in a package, and we could have done better, and we could have had that all together. And so this has been, I think in the email I said, man, this is botched because it just got too much, but it's coming together, and something good I hope comes of all of this kind of movement. There's been a lot of movement on this. So thanks, Rona, for expressing yourself and taking the time to hear everybody. Would anybody else like to make a comment?
I will. So coming into this, I was out of the office for a while. I didn't get all the details in front of me until recently, and sitting here listening to all the meetings and motions and everything that was going on. There was a lot of discussion on this whole Monte Kisak. Is that, am I saying that right? I heard everybody's comments, and I'm taking all that in, but I may not have young children at home. I don't understand the daycare thing anymore, but I do have an elderly parent that I tend to, and those days are numbered, you know, and I want to spend the time with her. I want to spend the time with my aunties and those that I have left. And that family time is needed. And I truly believe that our employees can do this. It's 3 days, as opposed to what we did through COVID. Our employees come together, they get things done. Those that need to are here, they answer. Our council have answered every one of the community members that were in need during COVID. They do it on the weekends, they do it in the middle of the night. I just, now that I know what the plans are, 3 days, I'm in agreement with it. So, yeah.
Thanks, Teresa, for sharing that. Would anyone else like to express themselves?
I'll express myself. I say thank you to everybody for coming here tonight. It's always good to see community involvement, to hear community points of views and reasons. You know, we always do the best we can. Was $500 not enough? Maybe there shouldn't have been none. We were always trying to do something for our people. And that was the best we could do. That was the best we could do. And if that wasn't enough, say something next time. Say something next time. There might not be $500 there, if that's not enough for you. But for what we had, we did what we could. Talk about bills, that was for bills. Talk about food, that was for food. You know, for me, going through what I've been through to get here, for me to be elected to this table, and then to question my decision-making abilities. Again, I'm still doing what I think is the best that I can do. It might not be for the elders, but their youth has come and gone. They had their children, now they're at their grandchildren point. And we must still think about our young adults today, and our children and our adults of tomorrow. That's where I'm standing at with this. And we have to make a decision. You know, once we get put to this table, we're not going to make everybody happy. We're not. You took a side, you made a stance. Good for you. But we're still here at this table right now to make a decision to do the best we can for our young adults and our children. And at this point, knowing our elders come and gone, if their time has come and gone to sit at this table, or not to be elected to this table, that's not our fault. That's the people's fault. Maybe it's the way they treated people when they were younger. I don't know. I feel for our elders. I love our elders. But I wish that at this time, They see where we're trying to go with this. It's about our young adults and our children. You know, we always want to give our children things that we didn't have. This might be one of those decisions. Now take it as that. So when this is called for the question, I seconded this motion. If it offends anyone, I apologize for that. But for the ones it doesn't offend and it brings people together, you know, we just had Thanksgiving. That was just a couple of minutes, a couple of hours we got to go and see family and friends. Hopefully with this break, we can go farther, spend more time together, catch up. Because for some of the people during this holiday, it's going to be their last holiday. That's just a fact. Death doesn't take a day off. So enjoy these moments as we have them. Cherish them. It's a small gift. It's a small gift. But tonight, it's the best we can do. And so we hope everybody comes out the other side into a new year, happier, healthier, and willing to move on. That leaves you 362 days to come up with another point of view on this. Write your papers, do your rebuttals, run for council, do whatever you have to do. You have 362 days to do it. Right now, we're just trying to do the best we can. I'm trying to do the best I can. So with that said, I hope everybody tonight knows what I'm doing, what we're doing, not just for us or for you, but for everybody within our community to spend time together. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Does anyone else want to make a comment before I call for the question? Objection to the motion. The motion was to approve a winter break for 2023, excluding the weekends. The 26th through the 31st, excluding the weekends. The motion was made by Coley and seconded by Eric, and we have an objection.
LD objects.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye or signify by raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Eugene, Teresa, Coley, Eric, Rona, Kenny, opposed?
LD, no.
LD, abstain?
I'm gonna abstain. Shit, they rang my ass through the ringer the other day. Now they come in there. Everybody comes in there talking their sleep. I'm abstaining.
We've got motion carried. 6-1-1. Motion carried. Thank you to the membership for expressing yourself and bringing your heartfelt feelings. I hope that we can come together and provide those services and also honor the families in their time. The next order of business is under tribal council items. Earlier today in general council, we had discussion on upcoming actions the tribe was to take, and asking the tribal council for a motion to authorize, asking the tribal council for a motion to authorize a lawsuit against the Army to enforce NAGPRA in the tribe's effort to represent Winnebago relatives buried at the Carlisle Barracks Post Cemetery. Do we have a motion?
Move it.
We have a motion by Eric. We have a second by Isaac. Discussion.
It's a motion to authorize a lawsuit against the Army to what?
I got the language from. Oh my goodness.
Can we do a 5-minute break?
Yep, hold one moment, please. So the motion was motion to authorize a lawsuit against the Army to enforce NAGPRA in the tribe's effort to repatriate Winnebago relatives buried at the Carlisle Barracks Post Cemetery.
To enforce NACRA and the tribes
Effort
effort.
to repatriate
Okay.
Winnebago relatives buried at the Carlisle Barracks Post Cemetery. We have a motion by Eric and a second by Isaac. Discussion. Thelma, did you want to say anything about that?
Oh, what's that?
We just made a motion. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for your commitment to your relatives and working with the tribe on bringing home the relatives. And it was through your guidance this afternoon that we're able to take this step forward. So thank you for that. So we have a motion on the table and we have a second. Any further discussion, or unless you wanted to comment on that? Objection to the motion? Motion carried 8-0-0. At this time, we have one executive session item, so we'll take a 5-minute break before we go into executive session. A 5-minute recess. 800, we're in exec at 7:21 PM. I guess we just need to
authorize planning and IT to work with land management to get more information for the Winnebago Tribe's fiber optic program within 30 days.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene.
Who made the motion?
Eric. Discussion. Objection to the motion? Motion carried 8-0-0. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Eric. Do we have a second? Second by Teresa. Discussion. Objection. Motion carried 8-0-0. We're adjourned at 7:45 p.m.
What do we have?
Thank you.